What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Out the Trunk Mobile Detailing here. And today I want to talk about my favorite chemicals. All right, we're going to be talking about my favorite chemicals that I use in my everyday, day-to-day business for mobile detailing. Not saying this is only for mobile detailing. This is for anybody that's a car detailing enthusiast. Even if you do a DIY, you know what I'm saying, weekend warrior, or you're out in the field, actually trying to detail and for a business. So. With that being said, I'm going to be starting with the interior and then talk about my favorite products for the exterior. And yeah, so the reason why I'm making this video again, well, not again, but I recorded once before and I messed up, so I'm kind of recording again. But yeah, the reason why I'm making this video is because I really want to know what you guys use, one, but also there's also other products I want to use, like for example, Shine Supply. Shine Supply is a really big company out here in Southern California, and a lot of detailers that I know use their products and are a big fan of theirs. So I want to pick up a few of their products in the near future. After I kind of run some of these, especially in this crate, I have a lot of products I bought and I just don't really use. So I want to go through a lot of these, and then switch on over to some Shine Supply stuff because I really want to get my hands on some of that stuff because I heard nothing but great things about that company. So I want to try some of their things out, but that's kind of why I want to make this video, is because I want to see my progress of like what chemicals do I use still every day, what chemicals have I like moved on from, type of thing. So I don't know. I just think it's a cool idea. I want to see what other people use. I've seen a lot of these type of videos, so I want to make my own video. So let's start with the interior. For the interior, guys, I use Pulsar as my pretty much the only thing I use on the inside of the car to clean anything, right? When it comes to seats, leather seats, plastic, like the doors, and then also like the dash and center console area, cup holders, whatever it is, this is the thing I use every single time basically, and it doesn't fail me. I use this thing diluted down 10 to 1. You could also go 20 to 1. You can also go 5 to 1. So yeah, so I mean, it's just really it just depends on like, do you get a lot of more maintenance clients? Do you get a lot of new clients? So if you get new clients, you obviously want to make it a little bit stronger probably, because some of the times they're calling you in for like a disaster detail. Most of the time, I feel like, at least for me, I don't know. Most of the time, whenever I get like a first time client, usually the car is in pretty bad condition in the inside, so you might have to go a little bit heavier. But I just stick at 10 to 1. I feel like it's a safe option. It's still got enough bite on there to clean, and then also leaves a little bit of UV protection on there because it has UV inhibitors in it, which is to protect from the sun, from the UV rays, to when it hits that let's say the black plastic parts of the car, it's going to keep it from fading and turning like a light black, and then just not going to look as good. So I really like it for that purpose, is because it does add a little bit of protection on there. Now there's some other products you can use on top of that to add even more protection. For example, where's it at here? Yes, right here. So I do have only two things from DIY Detail, I believe. This is the Interior Clean and Protect. Now this is just a straight up similar version as Pulsar, but this is also Clean and Protect. So you could just use this as a straight up clean. You just clean and protect. But this is ready to use, so it's not. I don't know what the dilution ratio is on this, but it's just RTU, so it's ready to use. What I would maybe do is use Pulsar and then just wipe it in with this, and this kind of leaves a little bit of a different. It's not shiny, but it just doesn't leave. It just adds a little bit of sheen to it. So that's what I've noticed from that. You can also tell because the liquid is kind of like whitish, so it kind of has that little sheen to the finish on like the black panel. So it does add a little bit of sheen to it, but this is going to add a little bit more protection than Pulsar would by itself. So these two could be a combo, or just Pulsar. And then if you want to use leather conditioning on the seats, I'd recommend using Leather Star. I'm not saying this is the best leather conditioner I've ever used, because to be honest, this is the only one I've ever used. So I don't want to say this is the best one because I haven't used that many. But from what I've known from other people, they swear by this thing. A lot of people love it. So maybe go check out Leather Star. And then maybe I'll do some reviews on Leather Star because I haven't used it too often, but we'll do a more in-depth one if you guys want to check that out. Have me do a review. So yeah, I use Pulsar really for 95% of the interior. The other 5% I might use like DIY Details All Clean, which I believe I have in here somewhere. Yes, it is right here. So I do use All Clean. I have made a video of me using All Clean. Now All Clean, okay. All Clean is really good too. It's like an all-purpose cleaner. This is more of a aggressive cleaner than Interior Clean and Protect, because this adds like shining capabilities slash protecting capabilities in it, so it's not going to clean as well as all clean. So if you have a heavier contaminated surface, definitely try all clean and then maybe finish up with the clean and protect in there. So it's kind of this, what you guys prefer. Again, I've seen some DIY detail stuff. I haven't used a ton of their products, but I know that this does do a great job on heavily soiled, like those gritty spilled sodas, cup holders. I've done a video on my Instagram. I have a YouTube short of me using this. And yeah, I think it's actually really good. So I really like this as a more heavier duty cleaner. Now you can do the same thing with Pulsar, just make it heavier, the dilution ratio more aggressive, right? So use more Pulsar than water. So that way you get a little bit better cleaning capabilities. And yeah, so I really love Pulsar. That's what I use pretty much everything for the inside. Now for windows, guys, I was using just distilled water for the longest time. And then sometimes it just wasn't getting it clean, guys. It just wasn't getting it clean. So I started recently, I just bought it. And I actually already like it because I've done it for a few cars. And it's going to be Ultra Clean's Clear View. Now I bought this, it was on sale at my local 3D for like $8 or $9. I think it's like 30% off, so it was like 12 to 15 for the glass concentrate of this. It says you can go 50-1 dilution ratio in this 32-ounce bottle. This is a Koch Chemie's. Everybody has it pre-diluted for you. You can just fill it up 1-9. So this is 1-50. So I'd assumed the line below it was 1-10. So then I just did like half of that. Sorry, I actually diluted it probably a little bit more than 1-50. But to be honest, it does the job, especially because, like I said, first-time clients are going to have like that really nasty film in there. So this right here knocks out that film. Now, I will say I did have to do 2 cleanings of an interior window because it was super heavily caked on with like a layer of film, you can just tell on there. So I did one to just really saturate the whole window and wipe it all on, and left it wet, and then flipped the towel, dry it on, and then I did it again. And then that second time I did it, it just cleared it up. So I personally like it. It's really cost efficient and cheap. A lot of people just use isopropyl alcohol. A lot of people use panel prep spray. A lot of people use Stoner Invisible Glass by Stoner Car Care, which I do have still a can or 2 of this. So this is great too. It's like $8 or $6 depending where you get it, and it's ready to go, guys. It's really great. I actually really like Stoner Car Care. It's really nice. The only reason why I kind of stood away from this is because one time I was spraying it, and I don't know if it's because I was in the sun, so like the heat, rises, so I feel like, and then the can just kept spraying on me, and I just really got mad, so I just stopped using it because of that. Maybe I had a faulty cap, I don't know, or a sprayer, but yeah, that's what I use for my window cleaning, guys. And that's basically the whole interior of the car, guys. All of that right there. So interior of the car is done. Again, P&S 3-step method for any extractions. I just don't really do that many extractions. So that's going to be it for the whole interior of the car right there. If you have any more questions on the interior that I might have missed, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to respond to your questions. Now, next is for the exterior. I use 2 different products for the wheels because I start with the wheels. So I use Cleantex Knockout and Breaker. I believe, without me looking at them, I believe the red one is Knockout. No, Breaker. Knockout Breaker. I was right. It's the blue one's Breaker, red one is Knockout. So Knockout is for like a degreaser, so it's mostly used for the tires, and then you have the Knockout for the wheels. So Breaker for the wheels. The blue one is Breaker. Blue Breaker. Okay, Blue Breaker, and I use this for the wheels. So you can just use straight up just Knockout as a degreaser and use it on the wheels as well. I just use both of them separately because that's just how I've seen people use online, and it's meant for the wheels. So I'm just assuming it's a better cleaning. So I did use P&S Brake Buster, but to be honest, guys, it just wasn't cleaning for me. I don't know if it's because it's mainly like a degreaser and it's not really as strong as Breaker is, and I just wasn't able to clean, that great. But I love Brake Buster when I first used it because I wasn't using it on like super heavily sold cars, and I was using this thing 1-to-1 and even just straight, guys, and it just wasn't cleaning as good as Breaker. So to me, Breaker is really, really good. I haven't really seen, and it's non-acid, by the way. It's non-acid cleaner, wheel cleaner. I do have a 3D. It's a wheel cleaner. It's a wheel acid from 3D. It's just their version. And I still haven't really used it. I'm still a little afraid to use it, but I will be using it soon in a video If you guys want to see that, let me know as well. But I love Breaker. It's really good at cleaning the wheels. Heavy brake dust, you want to use this thing 1-to-1 if it's super heavy caked on. If you use this thing like 1-to-1, it's basically like almost an acid, basically. But I use a safe spot 3-to-1 around there, maybe 4-to-1. Now I will say I used this 3-to-1 on a truck recently, and it just wouldn't get. There was still a little bit of dirt left after even a good scrubbing. So you might want to turn this down to take this to like 2-to-1 on like, or 1-to-1 on like your first time ever clients. Maybe have 2 different bottles or something, like one that's more diluted and one that's not, like a little more maintenance. Because I do think this thing like 1-to-1, 2-to-1 can do just as good a job as acid, maybe like 80%. Acid, I know cleans great, but still, you guys know what I'm trying to say. And yeah, Knockout is great. The greaser knocks out the tire dressings, and you're able to put dressings on back. It's really, really great. I use this about 3-to-1 as well. So I like these two things together. My favorite wheel and tire combo cleaning kit for sure. So that's going to be it for the tires. And I do use, where is it at? I use Green Star for like the wheel arching for like trucks. So I'll spray this into a cleaner. I have a cleaner spray bottle. Don't get this sprayer bottle. The sprayer from IK, guys, this little sprayer, just get a Tolco sprayer. It's that sprayer sucks. I have this diluted 10-to-1 for the exterior of the vehicle. For like bug guts, and I also use it for the wheel arching of trucks. So that's what I use for bug guts and that stuff for the trucks. It really does a great job. So yeah, that's what I use for my pre kind of treatment, I guess, before I do my foam. So it kind of lays on the car, gets the bug guts and loosened up, and then when you spray that foam on, let it dwell and sit, you rinse it off, it all comes off, and then that's great as well for the wheel arching. So that's what I use for that. And now we're going to talk about soaps. Okay, so soaps, as you guys know on this channel, I'm a huge fan of, Gyeon Wet Coat, forgot. I use this for tires. I mainly use it for wheels, sorry. I know a lot of people use this as like their, as a ceramic spray at the end of washing the car, but to be honest, for me, I only use this on like kind of like sportier cars. I won't really use this on like, I don't know. I use it here and there, guys. Is it free? I got this for free from my local 3D shop because they have like a point reward system. Like whenever you spend money, you get points. You use that points, you can redeem them for free items. And I got this for free, and I like it. It's cool. I've used it on like a few Beamers, so I use it on like kind of like those sports cars and stuff like that. So help repel a lot of that brake dust. So maybe like the German-made cars, you want to go ahead and use some Wet Coat on there to kind of protect it from building up as that much brake dust, and then makes the next time cleaning a little bit easier. So that's what I use for Gyeon Wet Coat. And then now we're moving on to soaps. Now I'm a big fan of one individual soap, which a lot of you guys already know, and a lot of you guys probably have tried, and that is Josh V's Quiver Rogue. So this soap is a pH neutral soap, super dilutable. 1 ounce, you get amazing foam. Half an ounce for like 1,000 milliliters. If you fill up the Quiver to the max fill line, you put in half an ounce, it's going to be amazing foam, especially if you're using a good foam cannon like, I don't have it with me, but if you use Quivers, or if you use the Raincovo, both of those foam amazing. Even with just half an ounce of this with 1,000 milliliters of water, it does amazing, guys. Super, super good. I believe in milliliters is 20 milliliters of soap or 30 milliliters of soap. One of those two for 1,000 milliliters of water. So I really love this soap. It's like, I know people say it's expensive, like that's super expensive. Why would you use that? If you do the math, guys, all right? I'm gonna say this again. Let's say a soap costs $30. This soap costs $70. If you used 1 ounce of this versus 1 ounce of PNS Pearl, this is perfect right here. PNS Pearl, right? 1,000 milliliters of water versus 1 ounce of PNS Pearl versus 1,000 milliliters of water versus 1 ounce of Rogue. Rogue is going to be foaming 4 times better. You're going to have to put 3 ounces or 4 ounces of this to even get close to this type of foaming action, guys. Or maybe even drop the water down a little bit to get even more foam out of the PNS Pearl. You got to think about like how that look at, like Pearl is way more runnier than Quiver. Like look at the way it's sticking to the thing. It's so much more just concentrated That's why it's so expensive, because it's so concentrated, the amount of surfactants and soap in this versus P&S Pearl. So that's why it's expensive, because you don't have to use as much as you have to with this. As well as this is a high quality foaming soap, pH neutral, great for the sun. It sits and dwells on the surface and doesn't fall off the car like P&S Pearl will. And I know this because I've used this as my foam cannon. I've used this in my foam cannon as well. And I'm just telling you guys, it's worth every single penny. It's my favorite soap that I've used of all time, guys. And I've used like 6 or 7 different soaps. I'm going to be doing a review on soaps soon, on individual different soaps that I'll buy at my other 3D shop, or detail shop, sorry. And yeah, I'm going to just test that out to even prove to you guys how great this soap is. There's a lot of great soaps, but if you want a high foaming soap, that's the best one for sure. I haven't tried Incredible Suds V2, so don't quote me on that, as I haven't used it yet. But from what I hear, it's a great soap as well. And yeah, P&S Pearl I use for my buckets. I love it still because it's very cost efficient. It's cheap. You put an ounce or two inside your bucket. You foam it up with the pressure washer gun. You're good to go. So that's my combo. Quiver Rogue in the foam cannon, P&S Pearl inside of the buckets. So that's what I do for that. And then after you're done washing the car with your contact wash, all that kind of thing, you're going to need to protect it, right? Or dry it. You need to dry it as well. But to dry it, I use a drying aid. I end up using P&S Bead Maker. It's my go-to, guys. It's super cheap, cost efficient, really great. I think it's like $30 maybe for the gallon. 31, 32, I can't remember, $29.99 for a whole gallon. I don't have it with me right now, but because I've already used it and then I ran out. But I have a DI water from my 3D shop, just so I have 3D water to fill up and dilute chemicals in my garage. So yeah, P&S Bead Maker, guys. This is like a standard. Everyone knows about Bead Maker. Now there's a ton of detail sprays out there. I like Bead Maker. 1, I like the way it smells. 2, it's cost efficient. There's one downfall. I think we all know what it is. 3, it's really great for, paint, like the gloss. It has a lot of gloss, has a lot of slickness. Hydrophobics are really good. There's one downfall though, right? It attracts a lot of dust. A lot of dust. I mean, if you get a black car, you do the whole car, you let it sit for like an hour or two, you're going to see dust all over it, right? It just happens with Bead Maker. But to be honest, guys, it is, I don't know, it's so good. They just do everything right besides the dusting buildup, right? You can also mix, there's another one where you can basically make it, it's called the Dream Maker. So I forgot what the combination is, but you can do that. I haven't done that yet, so maybe I have to do a video on that as well. There's a lot of stuff I still have to try. Again, I'm not a professional where I've been doing this for 10, 20 years, but I got to try a lot of things out. So I definitely got to learn myself still a little bit. So yeah, we're going to try that out probably soon, but I love Bead Maker. Now, a lot of people love Technician's Choice ceramic detail spray. I know Josh V loves it. I know a lot of other like people that detail on YouTube love ceramic detail spray from Technician's Choice, which I haven't used personally yet, but I'm probably going to pick it up soon. They have it on my 3D shop all the time. I just don't get it. So yeah, that's what I use for that. I use it as my drying aid, so I spray it on the panels or on my towels, my drying towels, and then also the body of the paint. Go around, dry the whole thing, come back and do a few panels that I might have missed, and then that's basically it for that. So there's that, and now we have to dress the tires. So to dress the tires, I don't have the bottle with me, guys, but I use CarPro Pearl to dress my tire dressing. I love CarPro Pearl for tire dressing, for trim, for the plastic trim that's like black and faded. You can bring it back to life with that. It's not permanent, but it lasts a decent amount of time. It adds that pop to the vehicle, makes it look even newer. So I really like that product. I love P&S Pearl, P&S Pearl is the soap. I love CarPro Pearl, which is the tire shine. Now, I haven't used Decked Out from Shine Supply, which is a very, very popular one. I also haven't used CleanTech's version of their tire shine. I think it's called Wet Out, which I've used before on a vehicle, a Chevy Silverado black, and I liked it. I've only used it that one day, so I don't really know. And it was a truck, which I'm not a fan of putting tire shine on trucks with a brush. I don't know. The brush is good to me, but it's just not as great as like the auto fiber applicator. But I still like it though. It still works great. My preferred method is the auto fiber tire shine applicator. So yeah, that's the tire shine I use, and I love it, guys. It's so good. I use it 1-to-1. You can dilute it up like 1-to-2, 1-to-4, whatever. But I love 1-to-1. I think it looks great. It has enough shine in there. Not overly shiny, but it's a good. It does have shine to it though. It's not gonna be a matte finish. So I really like that about it. Now you can't put like one spray, go around the whole car, and make it look a little bit like matte. But I do like 2 to 3 sprays, maybe 4, spray around the whole tire, get a little bit of that wet look on it. So I like it, a little bit of a shinier tire, but I like a matte finish too. It just depends how you want it done. So maybe spray 1 onto the applicator and just go around the whole tire, really get it in there, and get it to a matte finish if you like a matte finish. And basically, guys, I want to say that's it. There's a ton of other products I have in here that I don't know if I want to go through every single one. One that I do, you know what? I'll go through a few more extra bits and bobs. These are the main stuff that I use every single detail. Now, these other ones on the other side are either like different versions of this or just other stuff I have just in case, right? So, for example, I use Gummy Fix for the floor mats. I think it works really great. A lot of people love it, and a lot of people hate it because they think you can just make it yourself for way cheaper, which you probably can. So, if you want to go ahead and make your own, you can definitely make your own. Next, we have is T from Coach Kemi. This is like your tar remover. And I use this on a lot of like white cars, right? A lot of white cars have like that built up, like that especially like behind the wheel or anywhere around the wheel, basically on the body of the car. A lot of trucks have it because of like whenever a new street is being built, you're driving over it and it's like tar and it kicks up onto the car. So that's how you can get rid of it by using T. You spray it on there, like 2 to 3 sprays on the area, depending on how big it is. Let it sit for a little bit and dwell. I even spray a little bit on the microfiber towel, and then I go in there and scrub it a good rub after the wash. I do it after the wash, and then yeah, it comes off pretty easily, to be honest. You have to scrub a little hard. Don't get me wrong. You got to put some elbow grease in there to get it off, but it does do the job. Some other stuff I want to talk about. We have a bug remover from Gtechniq, which I do use sometimes, but I honestly, the reason why I bought this, guys, is because I wanted the free bag. I wanted a free detailing bag, and I just spent $75. I was like, I'll just get a bug remover. It does the work. It does the job. Green Star does the job as well. You just gotta dilute it down. I have a quick detailer spray from Gtechniq. Like I said, I just use it. I just bought it for the you had to reach $75 of credit, or $75 of you got to spend $75 in order to get the bag. So that's why I bought that. Another thing I like using though is invisible glass. No, I already talked about that. Sorry. Oh, here we go. So we were just talking about bead maker, right? Now bead maker, it does attract dust. So I looked up some kind of like a little bit of a better, I guess, ceramic spray that I can use, but this is like an SiO2. It's from P&S Inspiration Stout here, or Inspiration Defender SiO2 protection. Now this is their I think they say up to 6 month protection. So this is supposed to have I'm trying to read it in the back, see if they have it, but I've read that this is supposed to have anti-static properties, so to help prevent dust getting on the car, sort of like Dream Maker if you were to make it. So this is like their version of having it. So this, I would say, is actually pretty nice too. So this is like a 6 month. Obviously, if it's well kept, it's up to 6 months, which I like as well. If you want to do like clay and seals, you want to use this. That's a great option too. But like I said, all this stuff in here, I do have Black Diamond from Rebels and Shine. This is basically black ice in a sprayable version. So I use that a lot because a lot of people love using black ice. I have Cerakote ceramic sealant there. So yeah, I have a lot of just random stuff that I just bought over months of being into detailing and buying a bunch of stuff from videos I've seen. So, but the main purpose of the video is all the stuff you see out of the crate. Everything that's in the crate is kind of just stuff that I might use here or there sometimes. But yeah, honestly, the main stuff is all right here that you guys see, as well as like my tire shine, my window cleaners down here. So, okay, almost broke it. And then I have my, my Green Star diluted down in here for the exterior of the car. So this is everything that I use in my everyday detailing business, guys. I use mainly everything from the right, and then on the left-hand side on this crate is kind of some like random stuff, right? So like gummy fix and tea I put in there because I don't use it every single detail job. I just kind of use it sparingly. So this is pretty much everything that I use on a day-to-day basis. If you guys are interested on any product, anything that you guys want to recommend me some products, like I said, I'm going to be trying some Shine Supply stuff. I want to be trying some Armor Detail Supply and a few more things for sure. But for sure, those two products or those two chemical lines I want to try out, especially Shine Supply. And yeah, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Leave a like, comment, hype the video if you have it available to you. Let me know some other videos you guys want me to do. I was going to do the update video on this Detail Co ceramic coating, the thick, the 5 years. But for some reason, there's been some random rain here and there, so I haven't really had the time to line up a day to where it's not going to rain in 2 days. Because then I'm going to wash the car. It's going to rain. The car's going to be outside. It's going to get dirty. It's going to be like, oh, what was the point? So it's kind of getting into like a weird season where it's going to rain some days. And then, I don't know. It's kind of weird right now, that process. So I got to do that. And I also have to do the Detail ceramic Technician's Choice graphene coating. Maybe I just got to slow it down a little bit. So I got to do those 2 reviews, maintenance washes, and test out the hydrophobics, test out the way it looks and all that stuff. So I got to do that too on those 2 videos for sure. And then I have some other videos planned as well. So guys, I'll see you in the next video. Adios.